What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and this video I want to do kind of a follow-up to a video I did a few days back. I feel like it was only a few days. Remember, we talked about Battlefield 6, Tom Henderson, right, notable leaker for Battlefield and for a couple other games as well. He talked about how the game's not going to be, or at least he doesn't believe it's going to be, on last-gen platforms, PS4, Xbox One. We talked about it. We talked about how I think that's very risky and bold, but I kind of like, right? I like that. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, right? But I like that idea. I like that they would do something so risky and bold. And then yesterday, I believe, they announced, right? Or I guess they talked a little bit about Battlefield 6. They talked about how the reveal is happening soon, which makes sense because we've heard from a lot of different people that the reveal is happening in May. So it seems like EA has kind of, backed that, okay? And they also said, obviously, they're having a mobile game in 2022, all that good stuff. But one thing they talked about is how the game, in terms of how amazing it's going to be. So, I mean, I like the stuff that they said. I mean, it definitely does sound like it's going to be the biggest, the most things kind of happening at any given time, which, again, kind of, remember, the rumor is it may even be 64 versus 64 players. They may try to push it that far. So, I mean, it could be like a mammoth of a game, right? And they said, like, this kind of action, this kind of size and scope is going to be powered by and they even said, like, high-end PCs, but PCs and next-gen consoles. So that was their quote. They didn't mention last-gen whatsoever, or I guess, well, considering you say I don't like it when you say that, next-gen consoles, because we're in the generation, so the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S are technically current-gen, and then PS4 and Xbox One would be considered last-gen, but I guess they say it anyway. But the bottom line is, look, we've heard, again, from Tom Henderson that the game may not be, actually probably won't be on last-gen. EA just comes out and says, hey, we're going to do all this amazing stuff with the game, and really, it's going to be powered by these things that are not the PS4 and Xbox One. So to me, it really sounds like they're kind of bracing people very quietly for the idea that the game will not come out, again, on last-gen consoles. So to kind of double back on the video a few days ago, I want to talk about that for a second. And I want to definitely, I know this is obviously a smaller channel, smaller viewership base, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments as well. Like, does that make you upset? Because, we talked about it from, like, a business perspective where it's like, the reason I think it's very bold, even beyond what I think other people would maybe say, is that EA wants to make as much money as possible. That's abundantly clear, right? And we've talked about, remember, the past Battlefield games, some of them have underperformed, and they sold really well, 7-8 million units in the first, like, couple months, and they said, nah, we wanted, like, 10 to 12. And it's like, oh my God. And it's, and so that was on PC and the consoles that were currently out that had, and this is obviously the last Battlefield game, had quite a few people that had PS4s and Xbox Ones at the time. Now, there wasn't 115, 120 million PS4s, 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, but there was, a high number, 80, 90 million, however many it was back then. So that's what's kind of odd, where it's like now being on next gen only. Now, I have seen people say this with Returnal. If you guys know what Returnal is, the PS5 exclusive, I have seen people say that because I always talk about how the attachment rate, and when you only have like 6-7 million PS5s, the game, like, if it sells 1 million, like, that's pretty solid, because that's 1/7 of everybody who has the PS5 that's getting your game. But I don't really know if it can get 3, 4, or more million units. But I have seen some people say that actually it could be the reverse, because people that have these consoles, because it's a smaller number and because there's a smaller amount of games that are exclusive to those consoles or platforms, they're more willing to buy it. So maybe Returnal does sell 2, 3. So that's Returnal, but Battlefield could be the same thing. So remember, we said by the fall, what do you expect? Maybe 10, 11, 12 million PS5s, maybe close to 15. And then let's say half of that for Xbox. So you'll have maybe 20 million, let's say, as a nice number, 20 million next-gen consoles. I mean, again, if they want 10 to 12 million units sold, that's half of the people that have next-gen consoles that need to get Battlefield. That's a very high number, even for a shooter, which a shooter is a popular genre of games, but it's not a genre that everybody, and I guess you don't need everybody, you need half of everybody, but it's not a genre that everybody is going to get. A lot of people aren't getting a PS5 for a shooter. Now, like I said, I'm buying it. I will buy this game day one. I'll buy Battlefield 6, but that's not speaking for everybody. So, and that's the business side. From the consumer side, I mean, this would be one of, I would say, the first game. Let's just say that. I think it'd be the first game that would maybe make people really, really upset / really motivate people to get the next-gen console. Now, don't take that the wrong way, because I know they're like next to impossible to find. They're not out, right? You have to be on Twitter basically to find when they're gonna be stocked in various different places, and then you have to be there within the first couple seconds or couple minutes, right? I get that it's difficult, and we've talked about the lack of pretty much anything on these next-gen consoles. Let's be honest. Demon Souls. Are you gonna get a PS5 for Demon Souls? Some will, most will not. Even like right now, Returnal, like you can only get on PS5. I'd say Xbox, but Xbox literally has nothing. And I don't say that to be mean, but it kind of just furthers the point where it's like there's not a game, at least exclusive, that is like, okay, you need to get that console to be able to play that game. Even like Ratchet and Clank. I think Ratchet and Clank will get some people, but not a lot. Battlefield is the first game, and it's right? It's PC, and then it's also on both. It's not just exclusive to one or the other, where it's like, yeah, you can only play this on next gen. So that's going to be the first one, I think, that's going to make more people than any other game so far over the past. Right now, it's been like 5 months. By the time Battlefield comes out, it'll be around a year of the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. I think it'll be the first game in that year that really either pushes people or they're like, dang it. I could say another word, but it's like, dang it. Like, I need this game, so I need to get the next-gen consoles. Or they still can't find it, because of like honest, valid reasons. They can't get it, and then they're going to be very, very mad, right? Again, I mean, I like the idea. I like having games that can only be played on next gen. I get that they're hard to find, but at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of reasons why, so I guess I won't go into them too much, but one of the reasons would be, we bought these systems for things to play on them, and there's really not been many things to play. And I get it, you could just wait, but I mean, Sony, Microsoft, they want you to get the system day one, week one, month one. They don't want you to wait till year 4. I guess Microsoft kind of does, because they've said it doesn't really matter if you buy it or not. They could wait till year 4, but for PlayStation, they don't really want you to wait till year 4 and 5 to get the PS5, right? So, it's interesting. You guys can let me know in the comments again. Like, I see it as risky, but I get it. Like, if you hate the idea of this, I fully understand it. Okay, I understand you, but I do think this is a risky / bold, but I kind of would praise that kind of thing. But from a business perspective, it's kind of weird, because I don't think they're guaranteed to do outrageously well. And then on a consumer side, you may make people very, very upset. And this would really be, maybe there'll be more games in the fall that do this that we just don't know about yet. Battlefield's like the first one, maybe. It's just maybe, right? But, if there's more, then I think that maybe it takes away the hatred. Not as much hatred, I guess, would be directed towards it. But if it doesn't, if this is one of the only games that does this, then I think people are going to be pretty upset. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think this is a good idea, bad idea? Do you have, PS4, Xbox One, and you would be, basically mad about this whole thing? Let me know your situation. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. You guys have been doing great, by the way, with supporting me. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We already hit 3,000. We're doing great. Want to hit 4,000 as soon as we can. Obviously, we're a little bit away from that, but make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. New video every single day on this channel, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.